Good afternoon. I would like to welcome all of you to our Walton County Chamber of Commerce August membership meeting and our Education Summit. We appreciate you being here so much.
We are pleased to be the official credit union of the Walton County School System, and we believe that our commitment to education is reflected in what we do for the educator. From the new teacher orientations to the Teacher of the Year banquets and scholarships, we continue our mission, which is to meet the need and exceed the expectations of our members. Our personal financial planning services will help our members make informed, intelligent decisions about their investments and retirement. Many experience firsthand the financial benefits of the credit union by taking advantage of products and services designed to help them afford life, such as lower rates on loans and credit cards. We remain focused on providing our members a smart place to bank, always in motion to improve our electronic delivery services. These are only a few examples of the things that we feel demonstrate our commitment to offer services that not only improve the economic well-being of our members, but changes the dynamics of households, which impacts the community in a totally different way. We are Peach State Federal Credit Union. We're proud to sponsor the annual Education Summit program with Walton County Schools. We will follow the program order and we'll hear from Mr. Billy Nicholson, headmaster of George Walton Academy, Mrs. Christy Monda, head administrator of the Loganville Christian Academy, Dr. Todd McGee, superintendent of Social Circle Schools, and then Dr. Nathan Franklin, superintendent of Walton County Schools. At this time, we welcome Mr. Nicholson to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you. To begin with, I would like to introduce to you Dr. Dan Dolan. Dr. Dolan comes to us from Austin, Texas. He was head of St. Michael's, and he is headmaster in wait at George Walton, associate headmaster this year, and will be taking my place next year. Dr. Dolan. We're opening this year with a total of 805 students. We're excited about some of the things that are going on. At this time, I'll ask Carrie Bailey, our Director of Admissions, to come forward and tell you some things that are going on at George Walton.
Good afternoon. Glad to see so many people here today for the Education Summit. At George Walton Academy, we are dedicated to providing an academically challenging environment that fosters the development and well-being of the total student. From our nationally acclaimed marching band to our literary team who placed second in the state, our students are involved in a wide range of programs that allow them to expand their horizons and worldviews, while nurturing the individual talents and interests in a safe environment. We believe in Judeo-Christian values. While we are an academically focused school, we take time daily for prayer. Lower school students attend Bible class weekly, and there are several Bible study groups available to our middle and high school students. On Sunday, we hosted a family prayer walk to kick off the school year. Service to the community is part of the George Walton culture. Character, high moral standards, and respect for others are critical traits of the George Walton student. We believe in patriotism. From the daily pledge to our annual Veterans Day program, George Walton students have pride and respect for their country, our freedom, and those who make it possible. Traditions like our annual ice cream social and our senior first grade program are another key element to the George Walton difference. Travel within the states and overseas. Each year, hundreds of our students are exposed to amazing places and programs through class trips to Washington, D.C., New York, and destinations throughout Europe, Asia, and Central America. We believe that opportunities to travel allow George Walton students to gain a greater understanding and history in other cultures and realize how deeply we are all globally connected. George Walton offers advanced placement classes in all academic disciplines and art. 81% of the students taking AP classes at George Walton scored a 3 or higher on their exams. This compares to 58% in Georgia and 60% nationally. 33 of those students achieved AP scholar status, which scores 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. SAT scores the past 3 years have averaged 1760, well above the state and national average, which are lingering around 1500. 100% of our students graduate and are accepted to colleges and universities of their choices, including University of Georgia, Georgia Tech, Emory, Duke, Auburn, Vanderbilt, and Stanford. In May, we celebrated the graduation of 75 bright students who made up the class of 2016. This class boasts many students who will participate in marching band programs and play sports at the collegiate level. This summer, we hosted 30 summer enrichment camps, serving nearly 450 students from throughout Walton County. Camp Invention, Lego Engineering, Math Camp, Driver's Ed, and several sports camps, just to name a few. We also offered 2 opportunities to travel abroad this summer. The first trip was a 14-day educational tour themed World War II and the Western Front. The group of nearly 50 students and chaperones visited the Churchill War Rooms in London, the beaches of Normandy, the American Cemetery in Belgium, among many other locations of historical significance throughout Europe. The second group included Latin and choral students who spent 12 days traveling and performing in venues throughout Central Europe, visiting Munich, Vienna, Budapest, and Berlin. These trips enable our students to experience history, and they bring the classroom lessons to life. Our one-to-one technology initiative continues to celebrate success. Last summer, we deployed 370 Lenovo ThinkPad Yoga laptops to our 7th through 12th grade students. K-4 through 3rd grade classrooms implemented the use of 128 iPads, and 4th through 6th grade students were able to emphasize their learning with 96 Lenovo laptop devices. Last week, we did the same for the nearly 100 upcoming 7th grade students and new students in 8th through 11th grade. These students were required to complete extensive training over the summer so that day one, they were ready to implement the use of their device. We are expanding our reach this fall to our 6th grade students. Initiated by the purchase last year of the 9 acres bordering our campus, our Board of Trustees has spent the last year developing a strategic plan that will guide our growth and sustainability through the next several years. Through surveys, focus groups, meetings, our steering committee was able to submit a plan that represents the voice of students, parents, faculty, trustees, and alumni. More than 1,400 people were involved in the process in one way or the other. We are pleased to be finalizing that plan and look forward to sharing it with our stakeholders and the community later this fall. As many of you know, and Mr. Nicholson mentioned, he will be retiring after 27 years of service at George Walton after this school year. And we're pleased to welcome Dr. Dan Dolan, who will take over the headmaster responsibilities for next school year. Yesterday, as Mr. Nicholson mentioned, we kicked off the school year with a little over 800 smiling faces. We welcomed nearly 100 new students and 6 new faculty and staff to the George Walton family. 73 students make up our senior class of 2017. 29 of them began their career at George Walton in the kindergarten program. To me, this speaks volumes about the environment to succeed that we provide at George Walton. We strive to be a leader in college preparatory education and a good community partner. We are Walton proud, and we believe that Walton County has a wide range of educational options for every student and family. These offerings help position our community to excel with our economic development efforts. We believe that when Walton County wins, we all win. At George Walton Academy, we believe that learning is a lifelong process. We are continually inspired by the level of success that our students achieve while they're at our school and after they graduate. We invite you to experience the difference firsthand by visiting our school. And we wish all of the students, teachers, staff, and administrators throughout Walton County a successful school year. Thank you.
When I began in education 29 years ago, I did not need these. And so I'm still not used to having to need them every time I stand to read something or to speak with a group of people. But good afternoon. On behalf of the faculty and staff and students at LCA, we want to say thank you for the privilege that it is to be a part of the Walton community as well as the Walton Proud initiative. When LCA opened its doors 19 years ago, our mission was and is to prepare students academically, spiritually, and socially for God's call on their lives. We set out to change the perception that faith and academics couldn't coexist in an environment of excellence and balance. At LCA, our desire is to train the whole student. We believe that God has a plan and a purpose for each child, and our goal is to come alongside their parents in helping them be prepared for that plan. As you would expect with any accredited private college preparatory school, a rigorous academic program in pre-K through 12 is present. But at LCA, we also want to create an environment in which students have the freedom and the tools necessary to explore their interests, to invest in their creativity, and to develop healthy friendships along the way. The temperament of our team is one of a pioneer rather than a settler. We'd much prefer to be out in front exploring what's ahead rather than sitting in the dust of other organizations wondering what all the commotion is about. In 2005, it became apparent that advances in technology were going to change the landscape of education. We began researching ways in which technology could be leveraged for learning. The more I read, the more excited I got about training the generation of students that God had entrusted to us. The world is changing, and it's changing at a rapid pace. College graduates must be able to compete in a global marketplace with the ability to think critically, solve problems creatively, work in teams, and communicate clearly. In 2013, we launched our iLearn initiative, a comprehensive plan to develop these skills. Front of classroom technology, smart boards, Promethean boards, those were installed in every pre-K through 12 classroom. Sets of iPads were added to our elementary classrooms for small group use. And LCA became the first school in Walton County to launch the one-to-one initiative with upper school students using their own device in class. Cell phones became a tool for learning, and they were encouraged in the classroom. The decision to purchase D2L, or Desire to Learn, a learning platform system, was made. D2L allows students to utilize a Dropbox to submit assignments. These assignments are time-stamped, so no more excuses for, I turned it in, it's on your desk. It's time-stamped. Kids don't love that so much. It allows us the ability to have students take tests electronically, to check grades, and much, much more. Just weeks after making our decision to go with D2L among all of the learning platforms that were out there, the University System of Georgia announced the move to D2L implementation the following year. Today, approximately 80% of the nation's universities have joined them in that decision. As a result, any LCA graduate who chooses a school in Georgia or another D2L school across the nation will have already been trained in the use of that platform. It's one less learning curve for our freshmen to face. I mentioned earlier that we're pioneers. Well, sometimes as a pioneer, you get out in front and you discover pitfalls along the way. For example, we discovered that allowing each student to bring a different device to school didn't allow for best practice in the classroom. Therefore, Google Chromebooks were introduced in our 6th grade last year, with everyone in 6th through 11th grade using the same kind of device this fall. With the advancement of technology and apps like Snapchat, if anyone has heard of Snapchat, cell phones are no longer allowed in the classroom. In fact, from 8 until 3, they're kept under lock and key because we believe that the students have everything they need on their device. I'm sorry. One of the benefits that we saw in taking cell phones out of the hands of our students from 8 until 3 was an increase in engagement. Kids were actually talking to each other in the hallways. They were talking to each other at lunch. And so we are very, very excited about seeing that continue. Building LCA's STEM program, science, technology, engineering, and math, became paramount to us. We chose to partner with Project Lead the Way, a company that created a comprehensive approach to STEM education by building an activity, project, and problem-based curriculum. LCA was the first school in the state of Georgia to partner with Project Lead the Way, and one of only 3 schools today out of the total of 75 in our state to offer their program in elementary, in middle, and in high school. Today, there are more than 8,000 Project Lead the Way schools across our nation. Project Lead the Way has endorsements from a number of large companies such as Lockheed Martin, Chevron, and Toyota. Our students are learning to be innovators. Last spring, we saw collaboration in action when our STEM students worked alongside our band students on the spring concert. The evening was titled "The Machine Awakens," and I must admit I had no idea what that meant. You can imagine our surprise when a 4-foot-tall motorized robot, built and programmed by our STEM students, took center stage for the final arrangement of the evening and began to conduct the band. The band director simply stepped aside. It was amazing. Yesterday, our upper school students returned to school to find a newly installed Genius Bar, or help desk. Envision the Apple Store in a smaller space. They love it. And LCA education comes complete with on-campus opportunities for AP and joint enrollment courses that provide our graduates with post-secondary flexibility. Graduates who signed to play athletics in college may now choose to take a lighter freshman class load and yet still graduate on time. Academically driven students may transfer enough credits to qualify as a sophomore, as was the case with one of our 2013 alumni who graduated from UGA in 3 years, remained to earn her master's degree in her 4th year, and this week will be teaching in a Fulton County school. Every LCA student graduates with at least one college course under his or her belt, but as mentioned, it's quite common for students to leave us with a full semester of college credit already behind them. Throughout the course of a child's time at LCA, opportunities to speak publicly are built into the program. Starting as early as kindergarten, students are learning to stand in front of a group, to speak articulately, and to present their content. The capstone project for every LCA senior is making a final presentation to the administration surrounding the exploration of an avenue of interest by researching or shadowing in a particular field. Oftentimes, we've seen the completion of this project lead students to determine their major early. Just last week, a member of our class of 2016 came by to tell us that she'd earned an internship in the athletic department at the University of Kentucky. She cited the completion of her senior project, even though at the time she said it was a pain. She cited the completion of that project as one of the things that distinguished her from the other candidates. She was the only freshman chosen for that internship. Academics are important. We're a school. We believe the Lord holds us accountable for the academic product of our students at the end of every school year. But for us, it's impossible to separate the C from the A in LCA. It's what makes us who we are. Providing a Christian education is about every subject being taught from God's perspective. It's a belief that God's the author of all truth. He's the author of John 3:16. He's the author of physics, literature, all of it. At LCA, we believe that environment matters. We're intentional about creating a culture among our students in which mutual respect is the norm. Last spring, we saw large numbers of our high school faculty open their homes to small groups of students for what we termed family dinner. Students would share a meal with their teacher in his or her home and then spend time talking about a book that they were reading together. Our students are being taught that their identity doesn't lie in their achievements. Yes, we want them to work hard, and we want them to enjoy success. We also recognize, though, that many of life's most important lessons are forged in the face of failure. Relationships between our faculty and our students in every grade are paramount to training the whole child. I believe those relationships are giving students the support and courage to try new things. In the class of 2016 alone, 48 students. We have online international business owners. We have students attending college on full ride scholarships. We have students interning in the offices of political officials, one who's a published author and another who is starting her own nonprofit organization. This class earned $2.8 million in scholarship money outside of Hope. Several years ago, we coined the phrase, "We are LCA." These 6 core values embody that statement. When we say we are LCA, it simply means this: to our students, to our parents, to our team members. We are accountable, we are intentional, we are motivated, we are faithful, we are inspirational, and we are truthful. In closing, we count it a great honor to serve the students and the parents alongside such a competent and passionate group of educational leaders in Walton County. And I'm going to leave you with the famous words of High School Musical, "We're all in this together." Thank you.
Good afternoon. First, want to thank Bonnie and Nathan for sponsoring this event. We appreciate what Peach State does for Social Circle and certainly our working relationship with Walton County Schools. I want to introduce the folks that have come from Social Circle today. We have Beth Pridgeon, who's our elementary school principal, Sarah Lynn Holbert, assistant superintendent, our new and outstanding middle school principal Cappy Douglas, Dr. Carrie Boer, our high school principal, Lori Allison, assistant superintendent working with high school and middle school, Beverly Todd Lee, assistant superintendent working with primary and elementary school, Todd Hilton, our technology director, our new outstanding primary school principal, Darlene Favors, and we have brought one of our brilliant students, Catherine Cohenhauer, who you'll hear from in a few minutes as well. First, I want to say it's great to be here and to be part of such a good group. I'm certainly Walton proud. I always have the opportunity to get up here and speak after our private schools have told you all the incredible things they have going on, and it's just great to hear about all the excellent educational opportunities that the students in Walton County have, both with the private schools and with our public school systems as well. Some points of pride: our graduation rate took a big jump up to 87%. We're very proud of that. Of course, we still have some work to do, obviously. We had over $1 million in scholarships with last year's graduating class. Our CCRPI score, which is what we're judged by in public education, all 3 schools that receive a score increased their score this past year, as did our system. There's a website, schooldigger.com, where they take public school data from standardized test scores and they rate school systems. And Social Circle and Walton County are both listed in the top 25% of the school systems in the state of Georgia. And we were listed as the most improved school system in the state of Georgia, so we're very proud of that. Technology, we are beginning to work towards one-to-one technology. We're starting this year at the high school with about 25% of our students going to have a device in their hands every day that we provide. Also, we've continued to increase the number of interactive panels on each campus. We're adding panels to to classrooms on each campus each year. This past year, one of our graduates, Lucas Udell, as far as we know, was the first Social Circle graduate to receive an appointment to the U.S. Naval Academy. Lucas was also the Walton Tribune Youth of the Year. Our JROTC program has just taken off. We have a Raider team. Those folks will be competing this fall. And our rifle team made great gains last year. We do part of our athletic complex. They have a shooting range where they can practice. And Walton County's been great. We go over to Monroe for our events that we host because their facility is so great over there. And some of our CTAE opportunities, health occupations, the health occupations class, we've been allowing students to earn their CNA and certified nursing assistant, which makes them competitive right when they graduate. But they also, this year, we're adding allied health care, which is just another pathway for students. And some students are going to do both now that we have that. At our middle school, we started a great mentoring program for our young ladies called the Keiki Club. So we're excited about that, and we hope to get something similar going for our young men. Our primary and elementary school had a book drive. They collected a lot of books, and then last spring, they had the kids come through. 100 of our Communities in Schools kids came through, and each of them were able to take a bag of 4 books home for the summer. And they can either return those or keep those as they come back to school. Making improvements. As most of you probably have heard, we had the state's longest losing streak in football, about 4 years. And this is the South and this is Georgia, so I'm proud to announce that we broke that streak 4 times last season. Our head coach is Chad Estes, and he worked at Monroe area during, I think, the most successful years they've ever had. He was defensive coordinator over there on Coach Fligg's staff, so he's doing a good job. Our softball won the region for the 3rd consecutive year and made it all the way to the Final Four. Our wrestling team won dual and traditional state again, so we're back-to-back state champions in wrestling. Baseball tied for the regular season region title. Almost all of our teams had students qualify for state competition, and that is a great improvement over where we were just a few years ago. Our school finished in the top 15 in the all sports category in AA, which includes around 60 schools, and we've done that for 2 years in a row, so we're proud of the improvements we're making in that area as well. I'm going to talk to you about something we're really excited about and we're seeing take off, and then Dr. Boer will come up and say a word and introduce Catherine. But Move On When Ready is a dual enrollment program for students in grades 9 through 12 who qualify and want to participate. They may attend part-time or full-time. This program allows students to go to college and take college courses. They can go or they can do online. We have an option online now as well. It does not count against the Hope Scholarship. The students do not pay tuition or book fees, and they get college and high school credit simultaneously. We partner primarily with Georgia State, the Perimeter campus, which is just on the other side of I-20 from us, and Athens Tech predominantly. There's an online with Georgia, a school out of Milledgeville also that we're doing this year. We have had several students who've graduated with their high school diploma and their AA degree in the last few years, and that's 2 years of college that they're getting while they're still in high school, and they don't have to pay for it. So they're that far ahead when they go to college. So very, very proud of that program. At this time, I'm going to let Dr. Boer come up, and you will enjoy looking and hearing her much more than you do me. So thank you.
Those of you that know me know that I have a reputation for being quite verbose. I love talking about Social Circle High School. We have an amazing group of teachers and students and a very supportive community. So if you'd like to know more about our school and our school system, I will be happy to stick around afterwards. And if you'd like to have a tour, we've had lots of, we love having the real estate folks come through with the Chamber of Commerce to give them a tour and talk about the great work that's going on. But I really believe that our best evidence of the work that we're doing is not just me talking about what our kids are up to, but giving an opportunity for you to hear from our great students. And so first, I want to introduce you to Kiara Kelly. Kiara Kelly was one of our students who participated in the CNA program. So she passed CNA certification the first time that she took the program. She also participated in dual enrollment program with Athens Tech. So before she graduated, she was riding in an ambulance as an EMT. And there's just nothing that you can't squelch the excitement of a child when they're out there and they're doing real, important, helpful work. And so we're so very proud of Kiara, and she wanted me to apologize for the fact that she can't be here. She's starting her 3rd year of college today. So after graduating with us just in May. So the other student that I want to make sure that I introduce to you is someone that we're very proud of. And Ms. Cohenauer, her mom's out in the hallway, but I want her to be able to step in and see us. Come on, Ms. Cohenauer. Yes, Ms. Cohenauer has done such a wonderful job with all of her children that I have several times asked her if she would consider raising my own. She hasn't agreed yet, but I'm still working on it. But Catherine, you want to come on up and join us? Catherine is a senior with us this year. She's a member of the Youth Leadership Walton team, which will be for the class of 2017. She has participated in Move On When Ready and wants to give you some information about that experience and how it has affected her. One of the things that we love to tell about Catherine Coher, she has tremendous accomplishments, but during her senior year, she was actually the only GHP recipient, which is the Governor's Honors Program for entire Walton County. But she told me I couldn't tell you about all the accolades. So Catherine, come on up and give the crowd some information about your experiences with Move On When Ready, please.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me here today. It's such an honor to speak on behalf of Social Circle and to represent my peers at Social Circle High School. Our school system as a whole offers so many opportunities for our students to succeed academically. And one of the programs that they offer that I have come to benefit the most from over my high school career is the Move On When Ready program. As you may know, like Dr. McGee said, this program gives students the opportunity to take college classes and receive college credit towards their high school and college diplomas. This program differs from AP in that students take their college classes on an actual college campus with actual college students rather than receiving credit for a class that they took at high school. I've benefited tremendously over the 2 semesters that I have taken dual enrollment classes, and where I feel that I have benefited the most from this program is the preparation for life after high school. High school teachers can prepare you as much as they possibly can for the rigor of college classes, but there's no better preparation than actually going to a college. I've been able to learn firsthand what will be expected from me as a college student come next fall. I've been given the opportunity to learn what college professors expect, how they test, how they grade, and most importantly, how they teach. This has given me the opportunity to adapt my studying techniques as well as my organizational skills in order to succeed in my courses, and I believe that I'm a much better student because of it. I've heard one of the hardest things for first-time college freshmen is getting acclimated to new learning environments because it is so different from high school. So I believe that this experience has really prepared me and will make my transition next year much smoother. I also feel that I have been able to have much more control over my own education in the past 2 years. I can choose what classes I want to take depending upon what degree or career I would like to pursue after high school. Classes range anywhere from anthropology to astronomy to criminal justice or even film production, so there are options for all students. It also provides much more flexibility when scheduling because you can take classes in the morning, afternoon, evening, or even online. I know multiple students who are also friends of mine that have taken college classes full-time since junior year and even over the summer, so they will be able to graduate in May with an associate's degree. I myself did not take that drastic of a transition into Move On When Ready, but that's the beauty of the program. I can be tailored to each specific student based upon their needs. And I'm hoping to be able to graduate in May with my first freshman year of college out of the way. And I'm also hoping to apply to UGA, Georgia Tech, Emory, and Vanderbilt, and hopefully be accepted. Thank you so much for letting me speak to you about our wonderful program.
I'm personally encouraging UGA. However, her father is a Georgia Tech graduate, so we're working on it. But thank you. Dr. McGee, do you have any other comments? Thank you. So we'll turn it over to our Walton County Public School friends.
Wow, tough act to follow, Catherine. Congratulations on your success. Well said, and Move On When Ready is definitely a program that we want all of our listeners to take advantage of. Folks, it's an honor to be with you today. I guess I'm on the tail end of the show here, but I want to wrap it up and represent Walton County School District. Our purpose today, my hope, is just to give you some talking points. You may know some of this already. Some of you have heard some of this already, but to give your organization some talking points to help further promote Walton County and the Walton County School District. Quickly, let me run through some fine points here. Walton County School District is proud to serve right at 14,000 students, pre-K through 12th grade. We employ roughly 2,000 people, one of the largest employers in Walton County, and that does include our after-school programs and those types of things. We are one of the fastest growing and largest districts in Georgia. A little bit about our 17 facilities. We have 15 schools, a board office, and a board annex. Our board annex, if you don't know, is actually the renovated Walker Park Elementary School off Highway 11. We do have 15 schools, 9 elementary schools, 3 middle, and 3 high schools. We're organized in the cluster organization. As you well know, we have the Loganville cluster, the Monroe cluster, the Walnut Grove cluster. Each of those clusters has 3 elementary schools that feed into 1 middle school, which feed into 1 high school. You're seeing the map there. I want to encourage all of you, especially our realtors, our bankers, and those that can really use this application to get on our website and take a look at some of the useful information that might help your organization in terms of answering questions to your clients, etc. Here's an example of our updated school boundary map. This is something you can actually click on, zoom in, see where certain neighborhoods are, things like that I know our realtors, bankers, and other organizations might find helpful. So please take advantage of that. Quick growth comparisons, just to compare Walton County. In the last 5 years, our 5-year average cohort growth in terms of the DOE facility program is about 110 students, okay? This year, so far, we've welcomed 13,761, I believe, on yesterday's count. We think we'll plateau at right at 14,000 students. We are the largest school district in our 13-county Northeast Georgia RESA association or agency. You can see some of the other comparisons with Newton, Rockdale, kind of how we measure up with their sizes as well. To put it in perspective, in the state of Georgia, even though we're beside Gwinnett, and of course Gwinnett is an anomaly with their size, 1 in 10 children in the state of Georgia go to school in Gwinnett County, if you can believe that. That's how big they are. But Walton County is a large school district. We're about 85% up the size chart, for lack of better words, just to put that in perspective for you. Also, if you back up to the economic crunch, we have grown as much as 350 to 375 students per year, and surprisingly, that extreme growth was during the height of our economic crunch several years ago. Some quick points about our FY17 budget. We're certainly excited that our board has passed our M&O budget at $109 million. That's an overall millage rate of 22.10. Our board did have the opportunity to roll the millage rate back 0.5 mils compared to FY16 and 1.4 mils over the last 3 years. The average expenditure per student, to put that in perspective, that $109 million equates to about $7,949 per student. And also to put that in perspective, our M&O budget is basically property tax and state funds. And that's about 35% property tax, 65% state funds, and we're so fortunate to be back to where we've had some restored state funds so that our millage rate could be a little less. You can see it up there, but our FY17, as excited as we are about the budget, our property tax revenue is still almost $7.8 million less than FY09. And of course, as I've said, part of that is because the state funds have restored quite a bit, and we're fortunate enough. Some of the things that are inside of the new budget this year are 3% cost of living raise for all of our employees that are full-time, which for us is 20-plus hours per week. You guys feel this as well, but the continued increases in our healthcare costs are embedded in that budget as well. We've added 12-plus new teaching positions to help us further reduce class sizes and to go with our growth. And with our facility program, have been able to just about eliminate our use of mobile learning cottages, as we like to call them. Let me mention quickly our facilities. We're so blessed in Walton County. In case you didn't know, the average facility age in the United States is 40-plus years. With the opening of our new Loganville Elementary School, which is pictured here, I know it's kind of hard to see with the size of the pictures, but the average age now in Walton County for our public schools is 12 years, and that's such a blessing for us. That also gives us the capacity to do some other things. Some of you are aware of House Bill 251. If we have capacity, House Bill 251 from a few years ago says that our parents can choose to go to other schools if there's space. I think 12 or 13, Rusty, of our schools this year were able to participate in House Bill 251, and that gave over 250 students the opportunity, if their parents chose so, to take advantage of that choice. So that's a good thing as well. Wanted to also mention, in terms of facilities, we're so blessed. We take it for granted because we've had it a while, but it's really a big deal, the fact that every one of our campuses and facilities has security cameras. We have resource officers at our middle and high schools. Those are things that really aren't automatic around the state of Georgia, so we're so blessed to have that. Wanted to also mention our penny sales tax program. You guys are well aware of our ELOST program, but we're towards the end of ELOST 4, and our voters in March have approved the continuation of that penny sales tax. We're so blessed to have that. That will begin January 1st of 2018. 8 of our 15 schools have been fully funded with that penny sales tax. That Loganville Elementary School replacement facility that you're looking at is $2 billion of those pennies. And for lack of better words, someone that drives from Gwinnett down 78, if they stop at Quick Trip in Loganville to fill up with gas on their way to the Georgia game, they helped us build that building, and that's a good position to be in. We're so glad. 5 other of our 15 schools have had major renovations or wing additions in the last several years. Some quick notes about performance. We want to recognize that the percent of AP students earning a 3 or higher, which is called a passing score for college credit, increased at all 3 high schools, as did the number of test takers. Want to recognize 2 of our high progress reward schools named by the Georgia DOE for their highest achievement and greatest gains award, that being Ather Road Elementary School and Walker Park Elementary School. This is a big one for us. The percent of students scoring at the developing, proficient, or distinguished levels on the 16 Georgia milestones, remember milestones are placed to CRCT, surpassed the state in every content area and in every subject. We're certainly proud of that. 100% of our Move On When Ready students, it has already been mentioned about that program. For the 15-16 school year, we have earned a total of 312 college credits, while they also have earned high school credits. That's a big deal for us, and a huge program that will gain a lot of traction that you'll see over the next few years. Let me quickly mention our graduation rate. We're excited that our overall rate of 82.3 still exceeds both the state and national rates. And to add to what's already been said about the graduation rate, that's the highest it's ever been in Walton County, and that's a good thing. Of course, you're thinking like I am, but what about the other 17 or 18%? Whether it's right or wrong, keep in mind the state's calculation of that is based on an 8-semester completion. My middle child is a special needs child. He's an MOID class. He'll follow his IEP and he'll graduate one day, but he'll count as a dropout in the state size, even though he'll follow his program. So keep those things in mind. Also, believe it or not, like many of our college students, they might need a 5th semester or that summer to finish high school. Many students obviously finish up in the summer. For this calculation, they do count as a dropout, but keep in mind those types of children are graduating on their own pace in their own program. So that's important to remember. Our graduation gaps for our economically disadvantaged and minority students continue to close dramatically. We did have in Walton County for FY16 89 AP scholars. We're certainly excited about that. And of course, over $11 million in scholarships, not counting our Hope Scholarship recipients for our FY16 graduates, which I think was just under 1,000 kids last year. I want to remind you something that's already been said. Our facilities are open to you and your organization. If we can help you, maybe it's a new family moving in, some kind of banking issue, certainly our realtors. If our schools can help you with your clients and your organization, please take advantage of that. Our principals know this, and our principals are ready. If that's a tour of the school, information about a particular school and the school zone, I can promise you they're Walton proud like we are, and they want to assist all of us succeed. Let me quickly mention, like all districts, we love recognizing our staff. I wanted to mention that 80% of our certified staff hold advanced degrees. We certainly have a diverse population of staff members with almost 2,000 staff members, and those staff members serve a diverse student population, as you might imagine. We certainly are proud of having an overall 95% retention rate of our staff. That's a big deal, folks. have that turnover and that transition. Folks want to move to Walton County. They want to live in Walton County. You know that, and that's a big plus for us in the school district. I want to recognize 2 new principals this year at 2 of our 15 schools. Youth Elementary School, Susan Infinger is the new principal this year. Carver Middle School, Mr. Alan Satterfield. Both are veteran administrators and will do very well at their school locations. In the central office, just to put a name with a face, I want to recognize some new positions there. Taking my place, Assistant Superintendent of Facilities, Maintenance, and Operations, Mr. Chip Underwood, who's with us today. Chief Human Resources Officer, Dr. Lance Young. Our Hearing Officer, Mr. Bill Ruma. Public Relations Officer, replacing Kim Embry, Ms. Callan Moore, and she's also with us. And let me mention, if your organization can benefit, or if you can benefit from additional information about what's going on in our school system, some talking points additionally, whatever you might not be able to find on our website, touch base with Callan. I can promise you she's here to help you as we are. A quick picture of our FY16 Teachers of the Year and Support People of the Year. And our District Teacher of the Year was at Youth Middle School last year, Ms. Carrie Collins. We're certainly excited to continue to recognize those staff members. We are so blessed in Walton County to have a Board of Education that functions at a high level, and we don't take that for granted. I can tell you one of the issues under the Gold Dome, when those legislators sit there with the AJC and they read about some of those school districts that are near Atlanta, they think that potentially happens. The dysfunction that you read about sometimes happens around the state, and I can promise you it doesn't happen in Walton County. We have an exemplary board, not just by opinion, but a true exemplary board by the level of governance that they've achieved. They've spent the last 3 or 4 years attending classes and going through trainings to become an exemplary board. And I can promise you that the understanding of this level of governance makes a huge impact to our school district and how we operate and function. We're certainly excited about the FY17 school year, and we look forward to giving our students our best each day. It's been mentioned before, we obviously have our eSmart program. We're excited to expand that into 7th grade. We have those Chromebooks as well for our 7th and 8th graders. Next year, as we rebuy the high school, it's time to go with the next model, and that's going to allow us to roll a different model to our elementary schools as well, whether that be through centers and things like that with the use of iPads and or Chromebooks. Of course, continued improvements in academics, arts, and athletics. We hope next year, as we're on a 176-day calendar this year, to finally get back to that traditional 180-day school calendar next year for FY18. Some of the things kind of on the hopper, we're looking at our 14 classroom addition at Youth Middle School as part of our ELOST program. Ongoing renovations at Carver Middle School, which will culminate with a new roof next June, and some other smaller additions and renovations to our existing facilities. The good thing about our capacity, we really feel like in Walton County that we're finally at a point where we have capacity for the next 4, maybe 5 years. Why is that important? If we can make it through ELOST 5 or mostly through ELOST 5 without a major project such as a new Loganville Elementary or a new Loganville Middle, that's going to really free up some funds to take care of what we already got. Walton County had an awful lot of growth and built a great many schools from that 02 to 09 time period, and it's time to get back and renovate some of those facilities and take care of what we got. So we're looking forward to that opportunity and to complete some what I call nicety projects with some of our other programs, athletics and arts and things like that. We want to ask all of you to connect with us. If you haven't looked at our Facebook page in a while, take a look at it. We've spent a lot of time in the last month or so really trying to get some good information out that may help your organization, obviously on Twitter and Instagram as well. We are certainly Walton proud, and we know that being one Walton only helps us all. So anything we can do to help your organization, you make sure you don't hesitate to ask, and I promise you we're going to do our best to help you out. Thanks so much for your attention today, and it's a pleasure being with you.
Wow. I think we should give all of our education leaders a hand again. Thank you all for being here today. And I think it's apparent that our county has probably the best school systems on earth. Don't you all agree? Everybody gets along so well, a lot of respect for each other, and just know you are all greatly appreciated for everything you do. All right, with that, Bonnie, if you will come forward to announce our Member of the Month, and then we will follow that with Kenny Smiley and followed by Terry Smiley. Thank you.
Okay. The Member of the Month award criteria is as follows. Must be a member of Walton County Chamber of Commerce, must have been in existence for at least 2 years, must project a positive image, and must have donated resources to the community. Our Member of the Month award winner is selected by the Business Council from nominations made by the membership. This month's Member of the Month is an organization in Walton County. The organization is involved in economic development, planning of events, and promotions of the area that they serve. A few community organizations they are involved in helping to plan and promote: Monroe Art Guile, the Music Guile, downtown concerts, festivals, and parades, and the 2 employees of this organization are graduates of Leadership Walton. This organization collaborates with the Walton Chamber to promote Walton Proud and the Antiques Capital of Georgia tourism promotions. The person making the nomination said this: "The organization attracts businesses and individuals to this downtown area, bringing value and makes it a better place to work, live, and play. This organization is helping to change the face of downtown Monroe." So yes, this month's Member of the Month award is being presented to Monroe Downtown Development Authority, Sadie and Leanne. Will you please come forward to accept the certificate, and congratulations. Would you like to speak? Yes. Oh, come on. I'm going to read this here. It says, Monroe Downtown Development Authority. This award recognizes a member of the Walton County Chamber of Commerce who has been in business for a minimum of 2 years, projects a positive image, and has donated their resources for the betterment of the community. Thank you. Congratulations.
Just want to say thank you so much. It looks like we're amazing because all of you are amazing. We're supported by so many businesses and so many people that open their doors, open their arms, and are always ready to make this community great. So it makes this really fun and easy to do because of all of you in this room. So thank you so much.
Congratulations, Monroe DDA. Yes, give another hand. I'm Kenny Smiley. I'm the president of the Leadership Walton Alumni Association. And for those of you who don't know, Leadership Walton is an adult leadership program that is hosted and sponsored by the Walton Chamber of Commerce to help cultivate new leaders in Walton County. And we've got several hundred graduates from the program over the past several years. And we have an alumni association, and we have over 100 members in that organization. First of all, if you are a graduate of Leadership Walton, will you please stand? I see some of you who might need to write a check for the Leadership Walton Alumni Association, just saying. But anyway, we do have several members, and so one thing that we get to do, and part of our mission, is to help support the Youth Leadership Walton program. So students like Catherine at Social Circle and another 50 around the community, we get to help support that program, and it's expanded over the years, and yes, it costs money. They contract the University of Georgia and other great things. So part of our mission is to help support that program. program. So we sponsored, for the past couple of years, have hosted a golf tournament, and we raised a lot of money for Youth Leadership Walton. So we get to do the fun part and present a check to the Chamber of Commerce and to Terry Braswell here today. But first, I'd like to ask if any of our Leadership Walton Alumni Association board members are here, if you will please come up. And Jane Scott right here, I want to recognize her because she is over our projects and she helped us put on that golf tournament. So I'd like to thank her. Terry Braswell, you will come join us. Right here. Awesome. That's more. All right. So it is with our pleasure on behalf of the Leadership Walton Alumni Association to present to the Walton Chamber of Commerce to help fund the Youth Leadership Walton program a check for $7,154.58. Thank y'all very much, and thank you to all the members of this organization and the board of directors.
Let me just tell you, without the support of that organization, we could not have the youth leadership program like it is today. We have 48 high school juniors in the program currently, and we have 46 seniors. So that's a huge commitment on our part to contract with the University of Georgia and hope the money comes in to support those programs, and it has. So thank y'all very much to Leadership Walton Alumni Association. New members, we have a few new members here today, so we're going to ask them to stand and give us your name and company name so we'll know who you are.
I'm Kim Kaiser, and these are my partners, Rob and Tracy Brown, and we will be opening a Great Harvest Bread Company in Sizemore Plaza. It's at the corner of Highway 78 in Old Loganville, hopefully February here.
Very good.
I'm Kimberly Smith, and I work with Suzanne Bell and Matt McCain. We opened a farmers insurance agency in Monroe off of Bankers Boulevard.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kate Butler. I work at Twin Lakes Recovery Center. I'm here with Jay Leach, who's our CEO. Some of you may have driven by our beautiful property in Monroe. We offer detox and residential substance abuse services for adults who are struggling with addictions and co-occurring disorders. So really happy to be here and happy to get to know all of you. We have an open house coming up September 16th, and I know you'll get more information from the chamber about that. So thank you.
Very good. Okay, if you'll quickly turn to the back of your program, you'll see a list of upcoming events. So our first event is today, right after this meeting, which is our 10 on the 10th, and Jeannie Gibbons is going to stand up and tell you where we're going to go right after the meeting for everybody who can.
Hi guys, since you're already out, and some of you are in Loganville, this is going to be very convenient because you will ride past it and you'll know if you keep driving. So make sure you stop. We're going to support our local businesses by stopping at Stone Mountain Vermont, which is the ride down 78, going towards Loganville on the right. So after our meeting, if you'll just join us there, and again, we're committing to spending 10 on the 10th at a local business, and that's where we're heading. Please join us. Thank you.
Yes, so as soon as we adjourn, that's where we'll be headed. If you haven't been to one of those, it's a lot of fun because the businesses' eyes are like this big when we all walk in together and spend $10 each. So just a reminder of our new map project that will be launching later this month. The College and Career Expo. On your tables, everybody has a forms. If you haven't already signed up online to be part of the College and Career Expo, we would love for you to take this and complete it. You're welcome to bring as many careers from your company as you'd like to, so it's not just limited to one person per company. Bill, do you want to add anything to that?
I can. Many of you have participated in this in the past. It's a great opportunity for our students in our county. We'll actually bus 3,000 students in a day to see the great careers we have in Walton County, as well as meet some representatives from a lot of great colleges around the state. So we would love your involvement. We're still looking for active partners to help with that. So please get involved.
Very good. So you're welcome to fill that out and leave it with one of the chamber staff folks before you leave today. And we will be busing all of the high school juniors and seniors from all of the 6 high schools over to that event on September the 1st. Congratulations to Monroe DDA for being our Member of the Month. Thank you very much to all of our school folks that we heard from today. They're all just doing outstanding jobs for our youth in Walton County, and we appreciate all that you do. Thanks again to Leadership Walton Alumni Association. Thank you again to our sponsors, Peach State Federal Credit Union and Walton County Schools. And I think that we have a few door prizes. Right, Bonnie? Okay, the basket is over on the table where I was sitting. I forgot to get it when I come up here. So if some of y'all will pass that up this way. What are we drawing for, Bonnie?
Well, let's see, it looks like it's gonna be a rainy day, so I have this nice sized umbrella here.
Okay. You want to go ahead and draw, Bonnie? You go draw. And our first winner is Dr. Carrie Boo, Social Circle Schools.
Because I can bring
My
my
neck.
day. That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay, our other 2 gifts, one is a small toolbox that I think is great to have in your car, ladies and gentlemen. I know you have a million tools, but. And the other one is a picture frame, which I think is perfect this time of year for everybody going back to school. Just like those stress balls on the table, which are yours to have. Okay, so,
Do they get to pick which one they want when they come up?
yes.
Okay. Paul Posner. And Matt McCain. Who's not here, but his partners are here, so. Okay, thank you all for being here. I know we ran just a tad bit over, but some great information shared today. And so we hope that y'all will all go to Stone Mountain Pecan now. We're adjourned.